Hey friends, welcome to Mold Mending. You've got Renee Rivera here. So good morning is what I'm saying because I just woke up a little bit ago. Thus the no makeup and what you see. Those of you that are listening to this, I am wearing a baseball hat and just threw on a lovely summer dress. However, the face does not look that great, nor does the voice today. Because last night we went out to eat at a restaurant, and unfortunately, it's not the eating out that's causing issues right now. It's the fact that what I requested was not fulfilled, and I am having an allergic reaction to food that was prepared wrong. We'll just say that. So this is the reason why I don't enjoy going out to restaurants like I used to. I'll be honest, growing up as a child with a big family living out in the country, that just wasn't a luxury that we took advantage of. I could count on one hand the number of times we went to McDonald's as a kid. And, you know, my mom just made all the meals and we were at home. And then parents divorced, we moved towards the city. So then that's when I started, enjoying more French fries and such because there was Wendy's down the road and a friend worked there and got a discount. And then met my husband, and he grew up in the restaurant business, you know, his parents owning different restaurants in both Chicago and California. And that was his life, was always eating out. And so so then I picked up eating out a little bit more once meeting my husband, enjoying it. However, I was noticing that, how can I say it? Didn't know it was a lot of what I was eating that was causing me a lot of sickness. And not until I saw a naturopath did I find out I actually had some food allergies and some food insensitivities, and was told, here's a list of things to avoid. And when I started avoiding those things, that's when my eyes started opening up to, wow, you don't have to feel this way all the time. Wow, you don't have to wake up looking this way all the time. And I became very strict with what my doctor had shared with me, stopped eating that list of foods, and changing what I served in my house, even to my family. So that's kind of the backstory. So since then, I've been what my friends call a purist. Like I don't bend the rules for myself just to enjoy something. However, I will say, when I first learned about all these things, got off of it, started feeling good, I thought, I was out with a bunch of neighborhood kids, some teenagers in my neighborhood. They were helping me pass out calendars. I was an event director, so every month we had to put calendars on 750 doors in our neighborhood. And so these kids would go out and help me tape these calendars on every single door, and afterwards I'd give them some sort of reward. And I thought, you know, it's been a long time since I went to Wendy's and had one of those, what are they called? Like a malt. I can't even remember what they're called now. And so we went there, got them all their treats, whatever they wanted off the menu. They each had a certain amount they could spend. And I just got myself one of those Frosties, is what it was called. Grabbed a Frosty, one of the smaller ones, and thought, I'll just treat myself. I ate that thing, and I'm telling you, wow, it brought memories back of, this is why I don't eat at restaurants. This is why I don't eat at, why I don't cheat and get off of the list of things I was told not to eat, because that very small cup, it was a children's size cup of a Frosty. It took almost a month to get all of the pain out of my body as the result of that treat. And I mean, it was just a sour stomach almost for a full month on end, just sick to my stomach constantly. And it brought memories back of, and this is why I was always so sick. Every time we went out to eat, the first place I'd go is, hey, I got to head to the bathroom. And I'd be in the bathroom for the longest time. We'd go to the movies every time after we got out of the movies. at least 30 minutes in the bathroom because I was eating all this popcorn and the soda, and I found out I was allergic to corn. So if you can only imagine, you know, and I was the one running and refilling the popcorn buckets, and because I was the big eater of it, and I was the one getting the most sick. Anyway, so learned a lot along the way. Wake up today and I got all of these things going on. And it's because we went out to eat yesterday. Friends invited us to go out to eat. Very nice restaurant. And I thought, sure, I'll just make sure I order and tell them I've got the allergies. Please do not put anything on my meat. Don't put anything on my vegetables. And I should be good to go. You know, I think this every time I go to the restaurant, but 9.5 times out of 10, the order is brought back wrong or something is added to it. So what I've learned at some restaurants is even if you order something, don't add anything to it. What I have learned is like their vegetables can come pre-marinated, pre-seasoned. So I even have to ask, does this come already out of a package, or does this come pure? What are the words I actually say? Do you receive this product already marinated and seasoned, or is it something that can be prepared plain? Like nothing added, nothing marinated, nothing sprinkled on it, no love sprayed on it, because one restaurant calls it their little spray of butter love at the end. And I'm like, I can't have anything before or after. So I've simplified what I ask, and it's just, is this prepared with anything prior to you preparing it? Is there anything in it? Is there any marinade, any seasoning? Because I need it pure. And a lot of times, oh yeah. There's nothing in it. Or they'll say, let me go back and ask the kitchen. And then they come back and tell me. And you'll be surprised how many restaurants I cannot have vegetables at. It was quite a surprise. So many restaurants purchase their vegetables already bagged, already marinated in some sort of a seasoning and a butter mixture. Or a soy mixture. So I just have to avoid it. A month ago, we went with friends to an event, and all I could eat was the steak. None of their vegetables were safe for me, which is appalling. It's surprising, not surprising. So anyway, so last night went out to eat. I ordered their ribeye, vegetables, and they brought all the food out and served it, and took my first bite. And I should have done what a protocol that I do now is when they serve it, I re-ask the server, just making sure before I take a bite, has anything been added to this? I'm making sure this is pure, no seasonings, no marinade. And I will many times get it served even by somebody that was not my waiter or waitress. So that makes it a little more difficult too. But those that are willing to go the extra mile, before I put my fork in, they'll say, well, let me go double check. Excuse me. They'll go and double check with their kitchen to make sure nothing was added to it. Then they'll come back, reassure me that I can eat it. Typically I'm fine. Half of a point out of 10. I'm fine. So this came back, didn't ask. It looked like there were no seasonings on it. Green as can be, broccoli. And so took a bite and I ate it, and I'm like, this tastes too sweet. And before, when I would go out to eat, it was really hard to be able to taste if they added seasoning or not, because you know, the way that it's made in a restaurant versus Renee's way, even the way my kids make their food versus my way always tastes better. Everybody else has the golden finger versus me when it comes to cooking. So sometimes I question, is there something on this? Is there not? And sometimes it's hard to decipher that when it's going out to eat. But this for sure, I could taste some seasoning in it. It tasted more sweeter than broccoli typically would. So waited for the waitress to come back and said, hey, I had requested nothing to be on this. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go make sure they make a new one. Brought it back, and I just scraped off what was on my plate and took the new plate and just ate off of that. This is end of part 1. Please tune into the other half of this message now, of why I do not like eating at restaurants, and learn more of the reason why and what the result was body-wise in part 2. Okay, chat with you later. Stay well.